Hello, and welcome to an extra and possibly unintended addition to the Play Up podcast series with myself, Scott McLachlan. Myself, Jamie, and Tim attended the 125th anniversary dinner on Friday night prior to the Shrewsbury game. So I managed to record quite a few conversations with players, staff, and various people who were at the evening, and I wanted to share with you. So I hope you enjoy it. The audio quality is not great on some of them because it was a very, very noisy arena and we were only recording on small microphones. So I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. At the 125th anniversary dinner, this is a special addition to the Play Up podcast. I'm here with Jamie and Tim. Evening, fellas. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, good. Thanks.
Yeah, we are on table 16 with some fine people. There's a lot of people we've seen milling about. John Westwood's here. We've seen Colin Farmery. We've already had our pictures taken with John Mousinho, haven't we?
Yeah,
We accosted him. Yeah,
Of
told
course.
him the odds of us winning the league. And he had no pressure.
Was he happy with that?
No.
He wasn't happy with that. He wants to keep it all quiet until it's actually done and dusted, which I don't blame him. So we managed to blag some tickets by actually paying for them before everybody else, and obviously there's a lot of supporters clubs and various other organisations here that are here. So hopefully we'll get to speak to various other people in the over the course of the evening. So I think my only question is, James, who do you think, if you can pull any names out of the air, who's going to get the nominations tonight, or rather, sorry, the decisions tonight about who's the three that are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think one or two of them are supposed to be posthumous awards. So
One's posthumous, and
one is,
two
yeah,
are
two,
two are modern day.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly every name who's in it, but I'm kind of wondering it's going to be one of the guys who's here. So the special guests are John Milkins, Alan Knight, Mick Tate, and Guy Whittingham. I'm pretty sure a couple of those are already in there.
Do you know my guess? My guess is Mick Tate. I think he's not already in.
I'm going to go with John Marquis.
John Marquis.
Yeah.
Which table's he hiding under? Because I haven't seen him yet.
I think it's safe to say it won't be him.
No.
I'm going to work
He scores at
backwards.
Bolton tomorrow. I think they're playing Bolton this team.
Oh, is he?
So maybe he's in for a shout.
Okay.
Move slightly further up.
Yeah, first good thing he's ever done for Bolton.
Come Saturday night, then we'll induct John Marquis.
Yeah, I like
if he ruins Bolton's afternoon. Yeah, cool.
Very excited to see Mick Tate here. I think. You always look back, don't you? My first ever era of watching Pompey was an era when Mick Tate was in it. I think he played every position and was a substitute many times as well. So
he's one of my favourites as well.
team,
Yeah. Do you have any memories of Mick Tate? Or was he a bit before your time?
I think maybe. I wouldn't be able to point him out, no. I mean, I probably do. I was going...
He had a lot of hair 40 years ago, but probably not now.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like one of the scouters.
Yeah. I'm sure we've met him before.
But I doubt he looks like that now.
No, but I'm sure we've met him at one of the previous...
Possibly. I mean, we could be barking up the wrong tree.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
We know it's not Guy or Alan Knight. So,
Yeah.
I
But,
think there's other players due to be here as well, aren't there? Ex-players as well.
and there's a big, there's obviously the Players' Day at the game tomorrow, which is another exciting game. Shrewsbury at home. As predicted by me, 3 points, and we're definitely promoted. Well,
Hope so.
with 90 points.
Looking forward to that.
Cool. Well, we're going to try and talk to a few people over the evening. So we'll try and get back to we'll enjoy our dinner first, won't we?
Yes.
Which looks like it's going to be fun.
Fried chicken.
Pan-fried chicken.
Okay. Nice.
That's what you're all missing out. But we'll drop back in with some bits and pieces hopefully later. I'm delighted to say that the legend has joined our table. Alan, how are you, Alan?
Okay,
How's the hip?
a little bit achy. Everyone's been ever so nice and running around giving suitable chairs to sit
We've
on.
got you a high chair to see.
I'm on the high chair at the moment, but no, it's heavy. I feel sorry for. She has to put up with my moods, sitting around not being able to do much for a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure it must be really tough. It's good to see you here anyway, glad you made it. So I know you've always been a really big supporter of the Hall of Fame and also the recognition of former players and staff to come back to the club and be recognised and be celebrated as they should be. So it's good that we've managed to get this up and running again after a break for COVID and various other reasons. So being an ex-player and obviously a big supporter of the club still, give us a sense of what it means to ex-players, these kind of nights and days as we're going to see tomorrow.
I think for any ex-player to the opportunity to get back to the club that you played for and the supporters that have supported you, adored you,
And still do.
and still do. And for that, it is a buzz that money can't buy, really. And to see friendly faces, to see ex-teammates is always great. I mean, obviously, I had a quick look round here. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but I've seen Tate.
Yeah.
Quick chat with Steve Davey. I mean, obviously, for me, over the decades, I've had so many friends in football.
You've had a lot of teammates, haven't you? Yeah.
And even lads that played before me, like Johnny Milkins was here. And Ray Crawford brought me through the youth team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just great to see these boys. And it means a lot to them to be able to come back and to be recognised and to see old faces and old friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's privilege for me to be here because, you know, these things are really, the tickets to this are really sought after, and the room looks fantastic. It's really good to see the current staff here as well. So John, Richard Hughes, and the CEO Andy Cullen, seeing them support it and getting involved in talking to people. So yeah, this is what Portsmouth Football Club and most football clubs are about, aren't they? About celebrating their history on a special anniversary like today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the club obviously has its peaks, troughs.
Yep, we're all well aware of the troughs.
And we're very close to a very nice peak at the moment.
Yeah.
And the people you just spoke about, the CEO, Andy Collins, sorry. Even Eric Eisner's here.
Yeah.
And the Gaffer to be here, and Richard. And I can't talk highly of what they've done. We spoke briefly before we started this. And I've been really impressed with everything that they've done.
Yeah, I think Eric's always talked about brick by brick, isn't he? I think they've added some significant bricks, haven't they, over the last 18 months.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't talk highly. They're on the cusp of something really, really special.
Yeah.
We all know we don't like to get too carried away too soon, but it's definitely within touching distance.
It would take an almighty trip up to not get promoted now at the very least. So yeah, we've got to keep our fingers crossed. Alan, absolute pleasure to speak to you. Great to see you looking well as well, and I hope your high chair suits you. Okay, I've managed to grab Guy Whittingham. Thank you very much for joining me, Guy. Great to see you again. I had a chat with Alan Knight earlier, and I basically just wanted to see from your perspective how important these nights are. I mean, obviously this is a very special dinner, 125th, but it's great to always get all of the ex-players and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's great to have these evenings. It gives fans a chance to celebrate. You know, whatever it is that's being celebrated this year, it's the 125th anniversary. There's a good range of players in here from the past, and those that I think really got what Portsmouth is about. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
No.
I think we all understand the people who you're trying to represent out on the football pitch, and that's certainly what I felt when I played here. And it was just a joy to play out on the front pitch.
And I mean, obviously, you're well known for your exploits at scoring goals, but as I've said to you before, personally, my admiration for you when you were a manager during that really difficult time, when the club was literally on its knees.
It was, absolutely.
And, that stands out for me as one of your most important contributions to this football club, because you kept it together that season and a half. Under enormous pressure.
Yeah, thanks for saying that.
What was that like?
It was horrendous.
Yeah,
I was looking back today actually, and looking through a timeline from when I took over from Michael Appleton as a lad. Everything that was being reported was going on, like players leaving, kicked out of the training ground, and then going later and later into when the fans that mentioned took over, was the possibility of going out of business. Really good people that were good at their job losing their job just because some people have run the club so irresponsibly.
Yeah.
And these people that lost their job were good people, and they were Pompey people.
Thankfully, some of them are still around.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a real shame what happened, and I felt at the time it was right that we got Alan Knight in, we got Alan McLaughlin in, people that really understood the club at the time, which was really important.
To be honest, you probably couldn't get anyone else, could you?
No, I don't think it was
no
right
disrespect
to
to
get
them,
anyone else.
because you probably had no money, did you?
Well, no, there wasn't any money. That's the thing about it, isn't it? I mean, you know, you have to say that, you know, people pulled together and, you know, did the right things and got in charge of it and run the club as they felt fit as fans. And thankfully now we're in a position where things look really good.
We made it to 126.
Yeah, it could possibly have been that one decision by a court judge.
Exactly. And I'm going to speak to Ian Peach, who's our main lawyer for Verasona. You must know Ian. He knows more than anyone how close. We were stroke of a pen.
Oh, absolutely.
Stroke of a pen.
Nobody knew going to that court what was going to happen. People just didn't know. And that's quite incredible, like I said, to be managing at the time and not knowing this could be it.
We had a good time in the Crook afterwards, so didn't we?
It was all right, yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I got down there pretty sharpish.
Yeah, you were mobbed. Yeah, it was a good night. Lovely. Thanks for speaking to me, mate. Great to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Cheers, mate. Right, brilliantly, I have got the lead man of this wonderful evening, Colin Farmery. Thank you for joining me, Colin. So you can recap who the three wonderful people we inducted this evening.
Yeah, well, I think this primarily was a celebration of 125 years of Porter Football Club, but one of the things we wanted to do was to reinvigorate the Hall of Fame, which had run very successfully for 10 years up until 2019. And what we wanted to do is also, with the Hall of Fame, is to kind of start just being a little bit more systematic about how we induct people in that way. So we came up with some criteria for kind of inducting people, 150 games for the club and kind of like 50 goals maybe, you know, kind of international, won a trophy. But also we put into the mix a sort of like a concept of an outstanding socio-cultural or sporting contribution to the football club. And all three of our inductees tonight, they all kind of hit that spot for me in terms of the outstanding, particularly sporting and kind of social contributions. First up, we had a guy called Dave Coyle, who he was instrumental in setting up the PF Pompey ladies team in the 1980s, which eventually would become Porter Football Club Women when it came finally fully under the parent club kind of umbrella in 2018. And Dave was a tremendous servant to women's football. He was a huge Pompey fan of both the men's and the women's team. But without his drive and determination, what we've seen now with Porter Football Club Women and the success that we're hopefully going to be getting on the field with them this season, and they can go on to greater things next season, I think what that couldn't have happened without kind of Dave's input initially.
Because hopefully the men and the women will get promoted.
Well,
it would be amazing, really.
It would be amazing. We're not counting any chickens until they're hatched in that way, but certainly if we did manage to get both teams to win silverware respectively, it would be a glorious capture, the 1-2-5. You can't deny that. But then the second person we inducted, we decided to go down the kind of posthumous route again, because certainly in the Pompey History Society, we've always been a strong arguer that when you've got the legends like Jimmy Dickinson and Alan Knight, there's a third person that kind of deserves to be in that kind of like pillar.
And for slightly different reasons. Most people would have never heard of him, really.
Well, possibly not, but we wanted to kind of change that. So we made a strong case as a history society with the people that we nominated that this particular individual would make a great addition. And the reason why is that he came to Pompey as a veteran. He was 30 years old when he signed for us in 1899 from Preston. But he immediately kind of made an impact on the team. He played in our first game in 1899 at Chatham. He very quickly established himself as a leader of men. He became a player manager of the team in 1901. He guided us to the Southern League Championship in 1902 and the Western League in 1903. So that was a kind of a tremendous achievement, both as a player and as a kind of manager in that way. And then he kind of lost his way, became a bit disillusioned with football. He got a suspension from the FA he thought was unjust, so he kind of walked away from the game. But he ended up managing the Pompey pub, so that's a cultural contribution.
Just for that.
If I heard one. And in 1909, the directors of the club then came to him and said, well, we're looking to bring on some football experience onto the board. Would you become a director? He agreed to this. He was involved in the restructuring of the club in 1912, which formed the modern club that we kind of like know today. And in the early 1920s, after a period as vice chairman, he became chairman. And under his chairmanship, we were champions of the third division South. He was the driving force behind the building of the South Stand, which celebrates its centenary next season. He guided the team as chairman to promotion to the first division, and then we reached Wembley in 1929 and 1934 and lost both of those cup finals. He retired in 1934, but he still followed the club closely, and I'm delighted he actually made it to Wembley in 1939 and saw his Pompey team win the FA Cup. And he died a happy man 2 years later, peacefully in St Mary's Hospital. And his last hours above ground were actually laid out in his coffin on the boardroom table at Fratton Park. So he was Pompey till he died and beyond. Absolutely. So you can't ask much more than that. The cortege took him off to Milton Cemetery.
I don't think you've actually checked his name, Bob.
Bob Blythe. Bob Blythe was his name. There we are. So
and the third one probably wasn't too much of a shock.
It wasn't. But I think we did pretty well to kind of keep it under wraps, to be honest, because I think one of the things we also wanted to
helps. He turned up late as well.
Well, we wanted to kind of do a big reveal on the night, and I think the people in the room probably sussed it. Some of them, I think.
Well, I think you sideswiped people with Daryl Powell turning up as well.
Yeah,
so that's a decoy.
So we had a bit of a decoy as well. But Herman Haridason, his sporting contribution, he was a member of that FA Cup winning team. He was certainly one of the most popular modern day players that we've ever had. But again, that social contribution was the important one for us, because in the end, not only did he have a great sporting contribution, what he also did was he managed to bring his IBB team over. He created a fundraising friendly for the PST community bid, and he raised £60,000. And without that £60,000, that would have helped get a lot of things over the line in those days. So a fantastic individual, and the fact he gave us a rendition of his singing repertoire at the end of it was so much
unforgettable for those who are here. Of course. Thank you, Colin. What a diverse three people, but all three extremely well deserving. And congratulations to you on a superb night.
Thank you very much. Yeah, top job. Cheers, Scott.
Cheers, mate. Right. Thank you, John Mousinho. Thank you very much for joining me on the Play Out podcast. We're at the end of the night. What's your impressions of the night so far tonight?
I think first of all, it's been amazing to rekindle the Hall of Fame. I think after maybe a 6 or 7 year break. So I think to be part of that and obviously to be head coach at the time is a real pleasure and privilege. I think tonight just sort of sums up the football club, remembering players that have lifted the FA Cup in 2008, remembering players and managers that started off at the club in 1899,
amazing,
and everything in between. So I think sums up the football club, and I think the general atmosphere in the room would be good anyway, but it's probably been heightened by the fact that we're doing okay in the league as well.
And also, this might be you one day.
I mean, it would be amazing. It's the sort of stuff that you can only dream of, and when you're connected to any football club, I think it's a real privilege to be part of the history, and I've done that as a player and hopefully as a head coach.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see you here because in times past we wouldn't have had staff at these kind of things, and so it's a real. I think it's a testament to you and your staff that you make time and effort to come to these things, even before such an important game as tomorrow. So, as a fan, thank you very much for coming. But it speaks volumes of you and your staff that you are willing to come and get involved in these kind of things.
Yeah, I think it's a really important part of being any position in the football club, and as you can see today with Rich and Eric here as well. We're not just here to come and pick up a paycheck. We're here to be part of the football club for the long term, and that's really important to us. And these sort of events and meeting the fans and meeting everybody that's part of the history of the football club is really important to us.
Right, lovely. Thank you very much for that, John, and the best of luck tomorrow.
Cheers,
and we'll see you on the victory parade around South Common.
That'd be nice.
You must have heard the stories because the last one was pretty legendary.
I've heard the stories, but not doing anything, not counting our chickens yet, just making sure we get the job done.
Everything crossed. Good luck tomorrow, mate. Thank you. I'm joined delightfully by Mr. Portsmouth Football Club himself, John Westwood. How are you, John?
Yeah, great, thank you. Just had a fantastic evening here at the Hall of Fame and the 125th anniversary. Brilliant, the nostalgia, the memories, the history, the players, the little anecdotes you hear, and you pick up little bits and bobs that just make what make this club special. And obviously the fans involved, everyone here. It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. This club just makes you so proud. To hear all the history of it and how it started, and the players who performed in the games, it's just brilliant.
There's a couple of surprising inductees tonight, isn't it? I must admit, I hadn't heard the chap who was it Bob Boyle, wasn't it, from 1899? Probably most people haven't, but I think it's terrific that we go back that far in history, isn't it?
I think it's fantastic, because obviously they found the members and what he did as a player, and he was chairman, and I think he was manager, and then he was, I've heard, he even helped with physiotherapy and things, he did everything. And in those early days, to do that sort of thing, and like one of his grandsons said, the hierarchy of the team for a player to become a chairman in those days, to make that transition was fantastic. But they are the people who made this club. They are the people who turned it into what it is. And without them, we wouldn't have the club, and we wouldn't have had those memories and those nostalgia and the passion. So I thought it was a perfect inductee. And to have him from the very beginning until he died 2 years after the FA Cup, what a better tribute could you give him?
He was, as Colin was saying, he was laid in state on the boardroom table.
Unbelievable.
Do you think when you go, you'll be laid in state on the boardroom table?
It shows how revered he was in the city and what he meant to the city. And just for that one statement, it shows that people of this club and this city just love their football club, and they love the people who make it special, like the players and so.
Yeah, lovely to see you again, mate. Enjoy tomorrow. Are we going to get promoted tomorrow, or are we have to wait a couple of games?
I'm going to wait. I'm never going to predict nothing, because I still go back to that season in 2017. Plymouth were top of the table from November, whatever, until 20 minutes from the end when we sneaked it. So you never know. And it is Pompey after all. But there's something
about to lose it this time.
There's something about this team that's given such a team. They showed it against Derby again.
Yeah.
They don't win the beat. And then the injuries we've had, but the recruitment quality this season's been good. And Mousinho's been good, but Richard Hughes takes a lot of credit. And the infrastructure we've got within the club and the playing staff and everything, what the Islanders are doing, I think, is we're the luckiest club to have the Islanders. They've done a long-term plan, which will mean long-term success. Too many chairmen and too short-term business plans, you get short-term success.
Yeah.
But they're building it from the ground up, the playing facilities, the stands, and the training facilities. I mean, they're telling us it's a profitable club. Whenever we've gone up before, it's going to be built on sand. It's not. We've got foundations. In the long term, it's going to be sustainable, and there's going to be lots more history and memories to make. And I just love them a bit. I love the Islanders. And obviously, Andy Cullen, CEO, he's unbelievable. He's very professional. And the way they're structured, everything's been structured. And Mousinho and Richard Hughes and all the players. And obviously, you've got to mention Marlon Pack. He's one of us.
Oh, of course he is, yeah. Tinder boy.
He's one of us. And to me, player of the season, you look at him on the pitch, you can see how much he means to you. Listen, close your eyes and imagine you're him.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, John, and let's hope we get another win tomorrow, eh? Play out, Pompey.
Till we die.
Andy Cullen, thank you very much for joining us on the Play Out podcast. What an evening! What an evening that's been put together by Colin Farmery and all of the other people involved. What's your take on it this evening?
It's a very special evening. First of all, congratulations to Colin, the 125 committee, who have worked so hard. They're all mainly volunteers, joined by some of the club staff, but they've put so much effort, so much hard work and dedication into a whole range of events this year, and it's not easy. You can go and want to do things, but no, let's stop. They've gone absolutely over the top with things that I think will properly commemorate 125 years of Portsmouth Football Club, but also leaving some real big legacy moments as well. We've got Jimmy Dickinson statue, we've got that fantastic mural as well that's now gone on the side of the wall.
I haven't seen that yet, I'll see that tomorrow.
Oh, you'll love it. It is. To think that was put together in one day by the artist is is truly special. And I think as well, just in terms of using the year as well to inspire new generations of supporters. So yeah, plenty of memories, but also looking forward. And that's what these things are all about. We're trying to be a football club which is inclusive, but we're also recognise where we come from, and also where we want to go. And I think we're seeing tonight. You said it's been a very special evening, and I think that's built on the memories, but just the spirit of togetherness that exists from fans, the connection with the players, the connection with the coaches, the staff, everyone here. I think it's had a really good night. It's really special.
I did have a quick word with John, and he seems a very humble person. You get that from his interviews that he does with the media anyway. Yeah. But I think it's been quite a shock, not just to Pompey fans, but I think to football as well, how well he's done when he's come in. Obviously, you were quite instrumental in bringing him in. What did you see initially in him that I mean, obviously you didn't know he was going to bring instant success if it is instant success. But what did you see in him that you thought he would really hit the ground running as a young manager?
I think you're always looking in your head coach. The most important thing is to have those leadership qualities.
Yeah.
And John had that in abundance, not just on paper, but the way he exhibited it when we met him for the first time and we met him again. We just felt that was going to be an excellent fit for Portsmouth Football Club. I said before, I think I said in the press last week, I think we had to break the mould a little bit in terms of, I think people always feel safe in what they know. And obviously John was an unknown head coach coming in. He hadn't done the role before. But everyone has to start somewhere, and I think just bringing that degree of fresh thinking into the football club was really, really important. And important to hit the ground running as well. And most importantly, I think that was a connection with the players as well on his very first day. He was very clear about how he was, going to take that first session, how he was going to work with the, with the staff in terms of taking his time to recruit the people around him. So. I'm absolutely delighted for him because, you've also got to cope with the pressure, of course, of a football club, but it hasn't phased John at all. It hasn't phased the staff, and we're very lucky as well that we got really good alignment with the sporting director. That was another key appointment that we made in October 2022. We wanted somebody who's going to give the football club a degree of continuity as well, both in terms of player recruitment, and take some of the pressure off the head coach's shoulders. So we don't want them sort of every day having to worry about the medical staff or the sports science team or the ground staff. And Richard stepped up to the mark there. Well, gives John the ability to focus all his attention and time on coaching, on player relations, or player management. It's a big enough task when you've got a squad of 26 players and you've got to manage them, keep them happy. Yeah. But also, you've got to coach them, you've got to develop them, losing the word. And I think we've got a really good. We've got to have that alignment. I think we've got it in a good place now with that mix between Rich, John, and the rest of the coaching staff.
I think the recruitment is what's impressed everyone. And we had that bump in over Christmas, and we had some injuries, and the recruitment in January, I think without doubt has been the best recruitment that I've seen in the last 20 years. And I think on a personal point for you, I mean, I'm asking you about everyone else, but I'd like to know a bit about how you were feeling and whether you were surprised about how this season's going, or was this? I mean, what were the expectations personally for you? Were you just going to bed someone in and then maybe go for next season, or?
I don't think you can, of course. The goal right from the start was to, do our best to put ourselves in a place where we're in a really good place to win promotion. We go into the last 5 games, and we're in a good position to achieve what that goal was. But we wanted to, from the moment I came in here, what we were trying to do was establish an identity in terms of our playing philosophy. We were very, very keen to try, as I said, bring a sporting director in, but also in terms of our recruitment our recruitment strategy. It was very much about looking at some young, first team ready talent that we could bring into the team, and we started that process back in January 23 with the recruitment of Riley Towler and Paddy Lane coming into the team. We paid fees.
That's really well with Paddy, isn't it?
Well, we paid fees for both players. Because we wanted to invest in that talent. And then we went into the summer, and we did the same again. Bringing in people like Christian Sadie into the squad, and then other young talent that have gone out and again we weren't afraid to go for it. We got the blend, I think, of good experience and good youth as well. January was really important. We've been really unfortunate with injuries to key players, long-term injuries, contact injuries. Nothing you can do about those. But we've got such deep resilience within the squad, and the players that have stepped up. And you go back to the Peterborough game, and again we're suffering with a few injuries pre-match, and then we wake up in the morning, we've got 2 players who aren't feeling well at all, can't start the game. And then we've got 2 players who come into the squad, and you wouldn't know they'd been. They were out there. It was just seamless. That's pretty good, because you spend a week setting up your squad to play the next game, then you've got to make those changes. And this group of players we've got are absolutely sensational. There's a real bond that's given us. They're looking out for each other, supporting each other, and they're a really determined bunch.
Thank you very much, Andy. And on a personal note, I think the way that you've run the club so far has been exemplary, and I think a lot of fans will recognise that. So we're all looking forward to seeing you up on the stage on Southsea Common, and I hope you enjoy holding on to that trophy if we get it. Okay. So good luck for the next 5 games, and we're all behind you.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thank you, Andy. Tim, Jamie.
Hello.
We've just smashed the 125th anniversary dinner.
Yep.
What did you think?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've managed to photobomb with my good friend Tim here, pretty much all of the stars of tonight, the Eisners.
You can see that all on Facebook.
Horizoners,
All the key players.
The Whittinghams, the...
Whittinghams, you mean?
No, if you followed the... fine, ruined my...
I've ruined the joke.
Yeah, you have. The Alan Knightsers.
Of course, who sat at our table.
He was sat at our table.
Oh, yeah.
He was,
Legends.
yeah. Well, they sat at our table. He's just had a hip operation.
They couldn't sit.
A hip hop operation.
Yeah.
He can't rap because he's, until his hip operation is healed.
White guy can't sat.
Right, white guy can't sat. But boy, could that boy jump when he was our goalkeeper.
Oh, well, there we go. We rescued that one, didn't we?
He did, yes. So yeah, it's a fantastic night. Really good fucking night. Oh, sorry for the French.
Yeah, I thought it was a really enjoyable evening, a lovely dinner as well. It was great to see so many famous players from the past up there. Really enjoyable to hear being regaled by stories by the likes of John Milkins up there as well. Nick Tate, obviously, that was a great joy for
Someone
me.
tells me, Tim, that you and John Westwood are now best buddies.
Wow, I had a quick chat outside with him earlier, and he remembered my name afterwards. So that was always a
Is it true that you're dating?
I don't think so, but
days.
That was at least pleasant. I'm sure I probably won't remember who I am tomorrow, but it was nice to have a chat with him. He was a true gentleman.
I don't think John remembers much of a Saturday, to be honest.
No,
ever, but there we go.
he was a true gent. He was a very
But could it lead
enjoyable person to talk to.
Could it lead to dating? Is there a second date plan?
Hopefully not. Hopefully this doesn't end up on the podcast and this bit's cut. But no, it's true to say he was
staying in like my senior moment.
he was extremely kind of pleasant to me and welcoming, and enjoyed talking to him.
Guys, thank you very much. I think we've had such a good time, haven't we? And
brilliant night.
Yeah, and I do hope I've managed to record some interviews with other people, which other people would have been on this podcast prior to us rambling now.
The guy Whittingham.
Guy Witness.
Yeah, I think it's great to say that kind of so many ex-Pompey stars are here tonight, and they've all been happy to chat and have a photo taken, and that's made it really special tonight.
Football club, don't we? And that's why that's why everyone else is here. And so we've had a great night, and I hope you enjoy the interviews. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Well, there you have it. Thank you very much for listening. That was the 125th anniversary, where the Play Up podcast team went to and had a wonderful dinner. Enjoyed some banter with some of the players and staff that work at the club and used to play for the club. So it was wonderful to see some old friends and some new faces. So we hope we enjoyed the interviews. I found them very interesting, and I hope you do too. Thank you very much. Bye bye.